What's up? It's the Brunch Breakdown. Didi out here in Los Angeles, the home of the next Olympic Games. And Dan is in Pittsburgh, not the home of the next Olympic Games.
Not quite.
Well, today on the show, we're going to be recapping the Olympics, and then maybe we'll get to something else. But we got music, we got beer, we got more. It's a lot of Olympics on this episode because it's the last time we get to talk about it. So we're going all in. Dan, let everybody know where they can find all the great Brunch Olympics coverage.
Yeah, of course. I'd be happy to. Aside from the top of the podium, you can find us anywhere that podcasts are available. Okay. New episodes come out each and every Wednesday. You know the drill by now. Hit follow, hit subscribe, let the episode come directly to you each and every Wednesday. The audio will be ready for you. We also have full video episodes as well. If you want to watch and listen along, you have the ability to do that. Those premiere on YouTube and on Facebook and on Spotify. Noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific is when those get released. So a little bit more specific on the time there. And then, of course, on demand anytime you want to watch after that. We're everywhere on social media at Brunch Breakdown. And, of course, the Sounds of Brunch playlist that you can find exclusively on Spotify each and every Friday. We give you what we're listening to each and every week. You don't even have to search for it. You don't have to take notes. I mean, Chris doesn't even take notes of what he's listening to each and every week. So you don't have to take those notes either. We just put it together for you in the playlist. Again, tell Alexa, tell Siri, tell everybody. Play the Sounds of Brunch exclusively on Spotify.
That's right. Play that Sounds of Brunch. All right. Time to get random topics off our chest. And since Dan, you're already talking, let's just go.
I'm just going to go with it. And I'm going to go with the theme of it today, Didi. I know we're talking Olympics here, but clearly, and if you are not watching the video, following along in the video, I just wanted to tell you that, again, for the third week in a row, I've got my Team USA, a different Team USA jacket on here supporting Team USA, my Olympic garb. But it's a sad day. It's a sad day for me. And frankly, I know more sad days ahead because, yes, the Olympics are now over. And if you know me, or if you've listened to this podcast long enough, you know your boy is Mr. Olympics here. I mean, again, I'm wearing it right now. And I know we use that word too much right now in today's society, literally. But I literally watched nothing else for the past 2 weeks than the Olympics, even the obscure sports. You know, we're watching table tennis on Saturday morning. And there's not a U.S. contender, but we're watching because it's the Olympics. The Olympics are on. And my lovely wife doesn't exactly love the Olympics as much as I do, but she puts up with it. And I think the key to it for me, again, it's 2 weeks every 2 years. When you think about it that way, it's really not that bad, right? It's 2 weeks every 2 years. It's really not that bad. So I think that's how I kind of get away with us putting aside our normal weekly routine of the shows we watch and the shows she wants to watch, and it's just all Olympics all the time. But these games were absolutely amazing. We're going to go into great detail with some of our favorite moments, but generally, I know I was down on the opening ceremony, and rightfully so. But Paris and the athletes came out to shine in many, many ways, and it's amazing to see. It's amazing, Didi, that some of these athletes that we've never heard of, obviously there's some that we don't know going into it, but there are some athletes we've never heard of, and instantaneously, for the course of 16 days, turn into complete superstars, like superstars. And we'll still know and talk about them for days and weeks and maybe some of them months to come. Even people, again, we didn't know about going into these Olympic Games. And you'd think like the NHL or Major League Baseball could learn a thing or two about showcasing their superstars from how the Olympics is able to do it, right?
Yep.
But anyways, I'm genuinely sad that the Olympic Games have come to a conclusion, and I hate that this is at least a shorter of the wait that you go from summer to winter, right? It's not a full 2 years. So that's the little bit of a silver lining, but we do have a long 4 years until we get those games in Los Angeles, which is going to be absolutely incredible. But if you need me, I'll be sulking through the rest of August through the NFL preseason. But with a glimmer of hope. Hopefully the NFL and college football kickoff will pick me back up in a couple of weeks. So thank you, Olympics. And I mean, go Team USA forever. Kicked ass once again.
Yes, kicked ass, but tied in golds in golds. So that kind of
Yeah,
sucks.
that was tough.
Kind of like it's like that blows.
That does blow, especially because there were a couple of golds that we expected to take home over the weekend and didn't quite get done. So that was unfortunate, tying in gold with China of all people.
Yeah, that hurts. There are a couple of track and field events that were exciting, but also we should have won gold in two of those, or
absolutely,
at least one of those.
That
kind of hurt. Yeah. All right. I want to get this off my chest, and I'm kind of the same theme. And here's the thing with the Olympics that is, they really got to figure out how to do this, because in the summer we have nothing. Okay. After the NBA and NHL are done, we have baseball. And that's literally a regional thing. It is not a national thing until the World Series comes. It is not national. That's just baseball in 2024. It is not a national thing. It's a regional thing.
True.
And so in the summer, there is space. I'm not saying you need to have the Olympics every year. Like people say, like go off the, be like, oh, we got to have the Olympics every year. Like this is so great. No. But there is a place for these sports to get their shine in the summer. And I mean, I know they do like the world championships and stuff like that, especially like track and field and you have swimming, all this stuff. There's got to be a way to do this and where we can do it in a place where everybody's not just going to like die in the summer, because some of these places where they do it, they got to do it in like May, or they do, so it's not dying. But like, there's got to be a way that you can showcase some of these things like every other year in a better way than we do. Because the swimming championships, they'll put those on NBC, but we don't know they're actually happening unless you just happen to be home on a random Saturday. It's like you're not seeing Katie Ledecky on the Tonight Show, promoting it or whatever, going up to that. Or, you're not seeing Noah Lyles on something like getting ready for people to watch the Worlds on NBC. It's just like if you're home and you happen to flip the channel and it just happens to be on that day, right? And so I think there's just a way you can do this with not even just those two. It's just with a bunch of these sports. Like you can maybe even package it together, make it its own TV show, like they do the Olympics at night anyways, right? And just make it this thing where we can watch these sports for like a couple weeks on the weekends or on whatever, when we just are at home, or, you're just not doing anything at night. And I just feel like there's a way to do that where it's like we just don't have to get introduced to rock climbing this one time in 4 years, because this shit's fun. And I'm like, it's like, because I don't need because I guess the thing I'm trying to say is like, I don't need it all the time, but there's just a place where like, I feel like we can get introduced to these people who aren't gymnasts, because we know all of them,
right?
Who aren't gymnasts, like more than once every 4 years. And I just feel like there's a way to do it in the summer, because there's nothing else on. That's one of the reasons why the Olympics are so great. And if you put the time difference with Paris wasn't bad, so it was like actually pretty legit, where like you didn't feel like you were missing the world if you didn't watch everything at night. You know what I mean? If you just watch everything at night, you're like, all right, well, like this is actually fine. It's not like you're a whole day behind or something like that. So yeah, I just feel like we can do this. And I don't know how they do it, but there's a way. There's smart people who can figure this out. So figure it out. I want to see these sports more than just once every 4 years.
Dude, I love that, because I almost came on here like for my chess segment going like, should we have you can't have the Olympics more often, right? You can't do that. You want it more often, but it would lose its grandeur, and it would just not be the same thing. But I love the idea of being able to showcase like these world championships in a much better way. There's definitely a way to do it. You're right. There's nothing on besides baseball.
Yeah.
And it would be nice. I love the idea of like maybe, even packaging the world championships together in like prime time. Because you're right. Like some of these things, these world championships, they're on during the day.
Yeah.
And like they're on NBC during the day. They're not re-air. I don't think they re-air them in prime time. No. I don't remember ever seeing that. So package them together, do that, have that on in a bar when people are out. Because I was at one yesterday and people were just standing still, like on their way out, waiting till this race was over. They were all getting ready to leave, and they stood still waiting till this race was over. And it's amazing. And we can do that. because these sports deserve it because they're just as exciting. You know, it's obviously the World Championships and the Olympics aren't the same, but that's a really big stage. That's the next biggest stage for them. And so it would be nice to be able to showcase and watch them. And you're right. Then you could build up these stories more, learn about these people, these athletes, not just from the US, but other countries as well. You're right. There's smart people out there. They should be able to figure this out for us.
Yeah, because after watching that Sprint docuseries like on Netflix, and if you haven't watched it, it's awesome. But like being able to watch that like a month before the Olympics, like when I was traveling, I just like I got so amped for the Olympics. I got so amped to just watch track and field. And this whole thing wasn't about the Olympics. It was about the Diamond League, which is like what track and field, the league that the track and field players are on when they're, you know, when they're not in, when it's not an Olympic year. So every other year they do this and they compete at the craziest level of track and field. And then the Olympics, they, you know, it's just, that's when everybody sees them. So that's why it's, you know, such a big deal. But like those 3 years in between, they're still going at it. Like, as hard as anything else. It's like that's where you see these world records getting broken and you see all these things happen. And I just feel like there's ways to do it. And I don't know. I just think it would be really exciting. Like I don't need to watch some show that I sort of or some movie that I really don't want to watch. I'd rather watch the 100 and the 200 from the World Championships and then flip over and then all of a sudden then the next weekend they've got like the swimming championships on or something like that. And then, you know, it's like, you know, and then you do little breaks and all of a sudden you were just watching rock climbing for a couple minutes. I don't know. Like there's just ways to do this without, you know, I don't know. There's ways to do this where we don't have to just meet these people for the first time in 4 years.
There is, because like even though it's different, like look at the success the X Games has had, right?
Yeah.
Like being able to showcase those sports. Now, some of them have actually turned into Olympic sports, which is kind of wild. But like there's a way for them to do that. And again, they weren't just always competing at the X Games, but then they were able to like showcase it differently. And I think there's a way to do that even with these Olympic sports. So I'm with you. Let's go.
Yeah.
I need more of this. I can't go 4 years with nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we're doing this. NBC, hit us up.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. Well, that's good off our chest. Now let's get into Brews Day. Dan, I have been cutting back on the carbs, so I have not been drinking too much beer lately.
Listen, I know Chris isn't here. Obviously, we addressed the elephant in the room. Chris isn't with us today.
He is not.
But now it seems like you're almost taking on his personality a little bit too much, cutting back on the I mean, you're not going to come up with a 200-day streak on us, are you?
Wait, hold on. I said beer. Did you? I said beer, sir.
There you go. Okay, very fair.
I didn't say. I didn't say that I was giving up. Whoa, easy. No.
Fair.
I've been cutting back on the carbs a little bit, and so I haven't been drinking beer too much lately. But I had a cowboy margarita. Have you ever had a cowboy margarita, Dan? Let me tell you.
I don't think
if
so.
you haven't. All right. So a cowboy margarita is jalapenos, your favorite tequila, lime, a little bit of orange, simple syrup, and an ounce of an IPA.
What?
Gives you extra, yeah. So it's basically a margarita, but with jalapenos and an IPA. So you basically like pour the IPA in like it's a shot. So it's like it's basically an ounce and a half of an IPA. And it just gives that bite that you want. It's a spicy margarita and it gives an extra bite. And I was nervous about it. I was like, I don't know about this. And they were like, if you don't like it, I'll give it back to you. But like, I bet you're going to like this. And I was like, okay. And I tried it and I was like, this is really good.
Wow.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know why it would take, but it just gives this extra bite. And it's like, because I like spicy margaritas anyways, but then like that just gives it an extra, like, I don't know, just gives like an extra kick to it with the hops. And you just, I don't know. It's just a cool margarita, but it's a cowboy margarita. And yeah, so if you know, messing around in your house, because it's really easy to make. I was like, I could make this at my house.
I was gonna say, was this on a was this on a menu somewhere or somebody like?
Yeah, this was on a menu.
Okay.
Yeah, this was on a menu, and then I actually did it at my house, and I was like, oh yeah, it's the same thing. It's great. But yeah, and I'm just telling you, it's good. Cowboy margarita, give it a shot. You know what I mean? It's there because I looked it up as soon as I was like, this doesn't exist, and then it's like it's just like a common drink or whatever. People make it. So
Wow.
yeah, cowboy
Okay.
margarita. Get a little extra bite in that spicy margarita if you like it, like
I like it.
your boy.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I know you're
there
a
you
big
go.
fan of the spicy marg. So interesting.
Yes.
Cowboy up, taking it to the
Oh
next
yeah,
level.
cowboy.
Okay. Okay. All right. Very good.
What you drinking, man?
Very good. Well, I'm drinking
Oh,
enough
that's
beer
right.
for the two of us.
I don't want to talk to you this week.
So, once again, it's the most wonderful time of the year where I get to attend the number one beer fest in the country, and that's not my opinion. It's voted on again by USA Today, Barrel and Flow. It's an incredible. I mean, it's an event. It really is. It's more than just a beer fest. It's celebrating Black culture and Black-owned breweries, something that isn't celebrated enough. And it brings these groups, these breweries together from all over the country. They come to Pittsburgh. They collaborate with either another brewery. Some of them were like Macro. Some of them were collaborating with Sam Adams. Others are collaborating with other Pittsburgh-owned breweries, and some of them are collaborating with other businesses that aren't breweries at all. And it makes it for a really incredible and unique event. And I think this is like I can't remember how many years now, 5, something like that. It's blown up. There's now over 4,000 attendees. It's incredible. So that was this weekend for me, getting to enjoy some of the best beer all around, and just a great environment and great festival. So I'll highlight 2 for you, because I could go on all day about this.
I know you could.
The first one is from a collaboration with a local Pittsburgh brewery called Brew Gentleman, and a local, I guess she's like a fitness instructor, is what I'll say. And it's called Lavender Vibes, and it's a honey lavender Kolsch. Wild, really wild. Because
Okay.
at first I'm like, a Kolsch with those flavors, that's different. Kolsch, right? German style, light type of beer, lean, distinct flavor, and then honey and lavender, locally sourced honey and lavender. It gave it kind of this great sweetness to it. And it was very, very unique and unlike anything I've ever had. It was super good. It was super good. Um, yeah. Yeah. So shouts to those 2 for teaming up for that one. And then the other one is from another favorite Pittsburgh brewery, Inner Groove Brewing. I can't remember if this was a collaboration or it's just one that they had there, because a lot of these breweries will have like multiple beers to choose from, right?
Mhm.
And they have like one specific one that's the collaboration. But they have one called they had one called the Gilded Cage, and I mean, Dee, this is one right up your alley. It's basically a key lime pie sour, and you got
Oh,
the tart lime, a little bit of the sour, sweet, and then they did a great job kind of making it with the vanilla, and the graham cracker came through a lot. Almost gave it a little bit of a creamy mouthfeel as well. Just one that stood out from the day of many, 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 many beers taken in. So, and it can be hard to stick out when every beer you drink is really good. So
yeah.
those are 2 in particular that stood out from another wonderful, wonderful celebration at Barrel and Flow.
Oh God. One of these years.
So I'm saying, man,
One of these fucking
one of these years you got
years.
to come out here for it.
I'm gonna get out there for it. I
It's only
know
getting
I'm
bigger and
going
better.
to. It's
August.
killing me. It's killing me. I almost bought merch last week because I got very jealous.
The merch was incredible. It
The
really
merch is
is.
great.
It's
Yeah.
so good. Yeah.
Because oh my God. Siobhan's just like, you should just go. And I was like, it's such a wasted trip for me to go by myself home. I have to figure out,
Oh, right.
we're figuring this out. We're figuring this out. Because
Right.
I feel like for the basic, honestly, for the what I've realized for the probably the rest of the next, I don't know, 13 years or something, our vacation window to go home is going to be in those first 2 weeks of August. Because like Saoirse starts school, real school on
Oh,
Monday.
sure. Yeah.
And so we've
Whoa.
like kind of realized like, yeah, like these first 2 weeks, it's like, yeah, that's when it's going to be like, yeah, when we do the Boston, West Virginia Pittsburgh extravaganza, it's going to be those weeks. So gonna
Okay.
plan it around it. We're gonna figure it out.
Line it up. They come out with that event
Yeah.
date pretty early. I think we'll know by the end
Yes.
of the year when the next Barrel and Flow will be, and it's usually that same weekend in August. So make it happen.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Do you know? Do you? And you may not know this. Not like you run the festival, but like, do
I
you know
don't.
when the collaborations when the collaborations start? Because it just seems like a big undertaking. They say anything about that? Like, do they do this like 6 months in advance? Do they do this a year in advance? Like, do they? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, they do. It is. It's like 6 months in advance. You'll see they'll start posting in like the early portion of the calendar year. They'll be like, these breweries getting together. And sometimes it's like, oh, one going to take a trip just to visit the other one and like start talking about it.
Okay. Got it.
And then, but some of them it's a longer brewing process. So you have to get on it early. So yeah, that's why they have like the date. Like we'll know the date maybe by Thanksgiving and Christmas because they have to start getting everybody together to get ready to start planning for the following year. Cause that collaboration it takes a long time because again, it's a lot of breweries from all over the country. They're not like down the street where they can just get together and come together easily. So there's travel and logistics involved. So it's a big undertaking for these collaborations.
Got it. Oh, so jealous. Well, I'm happy it's great. I'm happy it's still kicking and awesome. And
yes,
God damn it, I gotta get out there. All right. Well, cheers, Dan.
Cheers.
All right. Well, let's get into it, man. The Olympics have come and gone. The closing ceremonies are actually happening like as we are talking right now.
Yep. So we can't comment on that, unfortunately.
So we can't comment on that. I'm not really into that anyway. So yeah.
Right.
So we'll see. I'll see the highlights of the closing ceremonies.
The only part that's going to be as exciting is when they like transition to LA and what that's going to be involved. I think I heard Tom Cruise is somehow involved, so it could be a complete mess. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's like Tom Cruise is involved, like Billie Eilish, like basically every artist from LA. Snoop's performing, her, Billie Eilish, Red Hot Chili Peppers, a bunch of shit. So
yeah, okay. So besides all
a bunch of LA things are happening. The mayor is involved, and I've heard more about the closing ceremonies just because I live here. It's all anyone's talking. Like it's every news. Like, you get the local news in between the Olympics. It's just LA something about LA. So yeah, so I've heard more about the closing ceremonies than ever before. I was like, what is this? Why is this such a big deal? I was like, oh, because I live here. All right. Well, let's get into it, man. The Olympics, best moments, Dan. Do you have a best moment or best moments? Because there's more than one from these Olympics. Give me your first one.
First one is when the opening ceremony was over. I'm kidding. They weren't that bad. Yes. One moment that stuck out to me happened early on in the track portion, kind of midway through the Olympics, is the men's 1500 meter, where you had these two dudes, these two stars that was, and they're talking trash to each other all year long, go through the world championships. This kid from Norway, I think, I can't remember where the other guy, Great Britain, I think.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, it's the battle for gold between these two. And that's what it's going to come down to. And my man, Cole Hawker, couldn't give less of a shit. It just comes out of nowhere in the final stretch. It smokes both of those fools. That was, I mean, I had chills. I was screaming up and down so much because it was so unexpected. He was like, maybe he can compete for bronze, right? They're saying maybe one of the Americans can compete for bronze. And this guy just, boom, smoked past him. Cole Hawker for the gold, the 1500 meter. I'll remember that one for a long time just because of how unexpected it was.
Dude, Cole Hawker, and then I forget the other American dude's name that got bronze in that too.
Yeah,
talk about two dudes who were just happy to be there, like unbelievably happy to be there. They had no business being there. They were just like so happy because those two dudes were so set on each other.
Right.
They were like, there's no way that Ingebrigtsen, I think that's what his name was, because he ended up winning the 5,000 by like 5,000 meters.
He did.
So I don't know what the hell happened on that day in the 1500, but it's so crazy when you're watching it because he's looking at his right, looking for the other dude from Great Britain because they're about to have this battle. It's going to be those two. And why on earth he moved to the left or moved to the right.
Move to the right. Open up the inside lane. He left the inside lane open.
Because I was telling Siobhan when we were watching it, I was like, you have to understand, he can't win if he has to go around them. So like Cole Hawker's only way he wins is if he can just go straight. And he, for whatever reason, drifts over to the right, and Cole Hawker hit that shit like he was a running back and saw the hole. Like, I was like, this is crazy. But that's literally the only way that he could possibly win, because he would have had to go around those two dudes, and you can't do that. It's not going to happen. So I just, I don't understand that. Just talk about like just everything happening. Just, I don't know, just the gates opened up for him and just freaking did it. And man, that was one of the coolest moments for sure. Yeah,
it was. And you're right. I almost forgot the other American won the bronze. So the guy from Great Britain won silver. And I mean, it's just incredible. An incredible, unexpected moment. I love it.
Yes, dude.
What about you?
I'm with you on that.
So you're with me there. So what's another great moment? One of your favorites?
Oh man. You know, we're gonna stick with track and field.
Okay.
Noah Lyles. Basically Noah Lyles' whole Olympics. So Noah Lyles talks more shit than anybody in this world. More shit than anyone in this world. And which is so crazy, especially in the social media era, especially with anybody who talks that much shit, and you to do that in the 100, where literally any little thing could happen. And you aren't Usain Bolt. No one's ever going to be Usain Bolt.
Correct.
Where you're going to win by links in the 100.
Right.
And the fact that he did it, and in the fashion, and in the fastest 100 we've ever seen, all total, like total 100 fastest we've ever seen, slowest time, like it was the fastest time ever to get last place. Last place would have got bronze in last year in the 2021 Olympics.
How crazy!
So just crazy. In the photo finish, 5,000ths of a second in time, like just the craziest race. Like I think it was 59 seconds, they said, after the race was over. That's when we found out who won. And I was just like, this is the craziest thing. And the fact that Noah Lyles won it, just ripping the thing off, just ripping his name off his chest, just letting everybody know, was awesome. And then the 200 happened, and he gets bronze, and it looks like he's about to die after. And then very quickly after, we find out he had COVID. So this guy ran a 19.7 and got bronze with COVID. I'm like, I know a lot of people were mad, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, why'd you let him run?" Like, he's hugging people after. I'm like, no, guys, you're burying the lead. You're burying the lead here. This guy, like, I don't know if anybody else had COVID here, which most of us have. Breathing isn't great.
Correct.
Like, walking from my couch to my bedroom when I had COVID was not easy. Running the 200 meters at the Olympics,
honestly.
Like, shouts to Noah Lyles, man. You did it. I'm more impressed that you got bronze, like, with COVID than I am anything else. Like,
honestly,
just those moments. Just I'll never forget those. But there were so many track and field moments though. But like those, I just,
there really were. Yeah. But yeah, Noah Lyles, his entire Olympic run, and it's a shame that he couldn't participate in the 4x100 relay, which was a total disaster.
Oh God!
No, we don't need.
Maybe he knew.
Yeah, right. He's like, I've seen these guys. I've seen that baton toss. I'm not getting fumbled into that. Yeah, big time. Yikes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, honestly, watching Noah Lyles it was so amazing and so exciting. And just, that's impressive, because it was like, oh man, bronze. Yeah. And the 200 was like a big letdown. It's like, oh wait, you did that with COVID. How does that make fourth place feel? How you feel?
Seriously.
How you feel?
That would, because it would make me annoyed if I were the people who got like first and second. If I got gold and silver, I'd be annoyed that they're like, no, Lyles got COVID. So then everyone's like, well, I had COVID,
Yeah.
But if you're fourth,
that's rough.
I mean,
and
I know I would be making.
He didn't like just get it. He got it like right after the 100, and then 2 days had gone by. So he's like feeling it, right? Yeah. He's feeling it. He's not like, oh yeah, I felt a little off. He's like, no, I felt like shit. And now we know why, but still bronze. Incredible.
Yeah. He full had it.
Yeah. I think everybody, one of their favorite things to watch, obviously, is women's gymnastics. But the men's gymnastics never really gets the spotlight. It's just not as exciting. And the American men particularly don't perform all that well. And the things that they compete on it's not as graceful, to say the least. However,
There's no music on the floor routine.
yeah,
It's just
right.
awkward.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys can play something.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you don't have to like go to the rhythm of it, but have something going on in
yeah.
the background.
Yeah. It's just like
Jeez.
the floor sounds so loud. It's
Yeah,
just like,
right.
bong, bong, bong. It's like, guys, play something. Play elevator music or something.
Right. I love it. But this year, men's gymnastics, for a very good reason, got an amazing spotlight moment when, again, the United States men don't participate do too well in this event, particularly the team event. But our boy, Steven, aka Clark Kent, sitting there with his glasses on, just zoning out, taking a nap. He's like, you guys let me know when you need me. And he comes on the pommel horse at the very end and closes the deal for the U.S. men to win the bronze medal. Was unbelievable. Was an unbelievable moment, and the reaction to it. And it's nice to see the U.S. medal in something they don't usually get a chance to, and in that fashion was pretty memorable. That was cool.
Yeah, man. Kevin Hart called him Stevie Onesie.
That's incredible.
And I was like crying watching him and Keaton. But yeah, Stevie Onesie, man. Yeah, just there to do one job. He had one job.
Yep.
And you know what's wild is I remember watching like one of the previews for the Olympics like that week, like people talking about things to watch and stuff. And one of the gymnastics guys were on talking about Simone Biles, and he was like, "Hey, but I'm just letting you know, the men, they have a chance for the first time in however many years to medal." And then they were like, sure, but
Sure.
what about Jordan Childs?
Yeah.
They like did not give two shits. They were like, they literally like just ran over this guy's comment talking about the men. They were like, he's like, but I want you guys to know they have a chance to medal the first time or whatever. And they're like, sure, okay. But Simone Biles had what for breakfast this morning? So watching them the first night, they're all terrible. Or like the guys that they're doing all the packages for, they're not good. And I was like, this is bad. But then they showed up, man, and they got bronze, and that was cool. Like the happiest bronze medal ceremony ever.
Yeah,
like,
honestly.
But yeah, that was cool. So second for me is the pole vaulter. Not the guy who broke all the records.
Oh,
the pole vaulter whose dick hit the pole and fell down, and he became a national sensation.
No other way to say it.
Apparently he has funnier things was like him making jokes about it on TikTok and then later having to take them down because I guess his wife did not like the attention that he was getting because of this. So that was funny to follow and stuff. But just for all you pole vaulters out there, and maybe some know this, but like guys, you gotta tuck it in. Or like, is track is possibly the sexiest sport. So like maybe track's too sexy for this guy. Maybe he just couldn't handle himself. Because I got to tell you, if the Great Britain 4x4 team walked by me, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to pole vault in those tights like that. So I'm just saying, like, yeah, tuck it in, fellas, tuck it in. But that was like one of the funnier stories, and the fact that I'm sure this has happened before, but the fact that it's the first time it's ever happened in the Olympics with social media is just pretty phenomenal. So
iconic.
That was great.
An iconic moment for sure, and one we will soon not forget. That's no doubt about it. And my like last one isn't more. There's obviously 1,000 moments to pick from, but something that maybe gets taken for granted, but it's consistent every Olympics, every 4 years. Like the announcers that are on NBC for these sports are incredible. Like, and there's just this sense it's the same ones, you know, every 4 years, it's the same voices. You get to like, there's just a sense of comfort with hearing those
Yep.
same announcers, whether it's for gymnastics or it's for swimming, or for Lee Diffie and Otto Bolden for track and field. It's
Yep.
just and I love that it's the same year after year. And like, you don't know these people outside of the Olympics. They're not bringing in, Al Michaels to do this stuff. We have some of the best announcers across the board, across all these networks, and even just for NBC. But they're like, no, this is their time to shine. And it just, I don't know, it elevates it. And I think the announcers did a phenomenal job once again. And I love the passion that they bring to it. And it makes everybody feel like they're an expert in the sport for 2 weeks.
Whoever the loud swimming guy is, I will.
Yes.
That guy is everything to me. It's like you turn it on and there's a close race or an American is winning by a million. He is. It's like you hear his voice for the first time, get excited, and you're just like, the Olympics. The Olympics have begun.
Rowdy Gaines, Dan Hicks, and
great.
Rowdy Gaines. There's nobody like Rowdy Gaines. And I mean, he's called some of the most memorable, swims, meets, I guess, in history. Like
swims. That's what we're
swims. And in an individual swim event, swim. Like his Michael Phelps calls are incredible. And I love his the way Rowdy Gaines gets excited it makes it special.
It's the best. And my last one goes to the USA basketball team.
Yes.
Winning gold yesterday was awesome because for the first time in my life, I found out what it was like to be like one of you dorks who get up at 5 a.m. to watch the U.S. men's soccer team in some tournament. Because, but the thing was, I went to go watch the favorite, and so it made sense to me.
Yes,
and it was awesome, and I drank probably way too much and was way too excited, and it was awesome watching them beat France. Because right after the Serbia game, which may have been the best basketball game I've ever watched in my life, because you just got to watch Steph and Katie and LeBron just do all these things on the same team together. And it's like, wow, this is a moment in history. And I hit up my friend Jesse. I was like, yeah, we're watching this. We're going to watch the gold medal game somewhere. And every bar was packed up and down Ventura, where there's a bunch of bars and sports bars. And it was just like, wow, this is what it's like when all these bars are packed at 4 a.m. to watch the U.S. men's soccer team lose. For the love of me, I don't know why I still don't know why you guys do it, because it's never going to happen. Shouts to the women's soccer team.
Yes.
Shouts to you guys, because you guys play soccer. Whatever the men do, they don't. I don't know what whatever. But like, wow. It was like, I see why you guys do this. I just don't know why you do it for them. I don't know why you do it for them, because it was super fun. Just everybody just rooting on America. I've just never done it before. It was awesome. And shouts to everybody for the U.S. men's basketball team. And that just made my heart so warm.
Yeah.
So happy.
And Steph Curry, ice in his veins at the end, just hitting shots that you're like, oh, that one's not going in. Yes, it is. And shouts to the women too, taking care of business in another very close game on Sunday, a tight one. And it's tough when you're playing, France in France.
Yes. The women found out that the hard way.
Yes.
Then at least kept enough of a lead throughout the game, so it couldn't get there. But the women, whew, because that's what I was worried was going to happen yesterday. I was like, this game's going to be in 1 or 2 point range, and they're not going to get a call to save their life. They're just going to be like, LeBron's going to go from 1 to 5 fouls very quickly. But but it was weird seeing USA France for both. That was cool, but it was cool seeing that collection of talent just all doing it and just doing it together like that. And it was also cool just seeing Olympic basketball be an event And it's only going to get better in 2028. Like, we probably won't be favored in 2028 to win it. It probably will be France that's favored to win it in 2028. Like, it's
honestly,
it's becoming one of those, just one of the other sports is just like, all right, like, we're good at this, but like, we may not win this, which makes it more fun. Like, I don't know, makes it more fun. Because like in other years prior, I was not leaving my house to go watch the game somewhere,
right?
because it was such a big deal. Like, this year I was, and I feel like that's just what's going to happen. So it's pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting in 4 years what players from this year's roster are still there, because like LeBron's going to be old.
He's gone.
And
he
like, I know, he won't be. Like, he'll want more than anything to do that in LA. He's gonna be like 43, 44 or something like
he will not be there.
So
he will not.
No, maybe he'll be a coach.
Let's just. I hope he's doing what Carmelo was doing, drawing up plays from the sideline.
Right. So, but yeah, to see that collection of talent, knowing that it won't likely be like that in 4 years, is it was cool. It was cool to witness.
Yeah, it's just super cool to just see all that and just watch Steph just be Steph after he couldn't hit a shot for the 2 weeks of them being together.
Right.
So just watching him hit everything in the last 2 games was just awesome. And KD just doing it, and LeBron just being LeBron, just doing everything. Like, it was just awesome.
For sure.
So, yeah, give me the Olympics. God damn it, man. Fucking love the Olympics.
I know.
All right. Let's get into who's the MVP of the Olympics, Dan. Who is it? Who's the MVP?
Snoop Dogg. How's it not?
Dude.
How's it not?
I can't argue with that at all. At all. Like, at all.
How is it not? I know we can chat a little bit more about him, but yeah, it's Snoop. If it's not Snoop Dogg, this is really, really tough. This is really, really tough for me. Like, I keep going back and forth. I almost have to do. This is an instance where there's like co-MVPs, or like, we're going to share the gold medal, right? And in track, a lot of those things where they just like, hey, we can't high jump anymore. We'll share the gold medal.
Yeah.
Simone Biles and Katie Ledecky. Like, the GOAT's going in and the GOAT's coming out. I mean, to see Simone come back and do what she was able to do after the struggles 3 years ago was amazing. Put the team on her back again at that age. And I know that sounds weird because she's like 27, but like, that sport's not for like women of that age. It's not.
No,
it's really not. So the fact that she was able to do that and come back and compete was unbelievable. And then just Katie Ledecky doing Katie Ledecky things by just lapping people in the pool, winning when there's no one else around her is just unbelievable. It's really is unbelievable to know what she's doing. So, Simone, now most gymnastics medals, and Katie Ledecky, the winningest American female in terms of medals, there is just unbelievable. So it's hard for me to pick between those two.
Yeah, it's crazy how you watch them and you're like, okay, this will be the last one.
Right.
But then you watch Katie do what she did in like the 1500 or
1500.
And you're just like, wait, so you could be so you're gonna get slower, but are you gonna get that much slower?
Yeah, you're not gonna get like 8 seconds slower.
Where it's like Simone is like destroying these people, and not even to the point where she's just doing the stuff that no one will even try to do, and like landing on her feet, and they're like, yeah, like, you won, it's over, everybody's playing for second. And it's like, who's to say, all right, you can't do the vault in 4 years, or like maybe she can't do the all around anymore, maybe that's just not what's going to happen. But
sure,
who's to say that
she becomes a specialist. Yeah,
that she's not just going to show up and just do the vault,
because she does it so difficult that they're like, she didn't land perfectly, and it doesn't matter. For everybody else, they're like, you must land perfectly.
Yeah,
you should take 3 jumps, and they'll be like, it doesn't matter. Her score was so high to begin with, it doesn't matter.
That's that's the part. I thought like this year it would be like, oh yeah, like maybe Simone like doesn't do it. No, she did it.
Yeah,
and like, just damn. Yeah, wow. But yeah, Simone and Katie for sure. I copped out on this one. I just want to shout out, maybe it's not a cop out, but Paris.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like, you want to talk about just going for it and just saying, we are going to make this the most visually pleasing Olympics ever. Like putting beach volleyball just in the street so you can see the Eiffel Tower. Like,
Amazing.
Shouts to whoever was in that meeting in 2018 and was just like, this is where we're doing it. And they're like, whoa. Are you?
Whoa, it's a historic district. You can't do that.
It's like bullshit. We're clearing it out and we're going to put freaking sand there and it's going to be the most beautiful beach volleyball setting ever. And at night, it's going to look insane. Yeah. And it did, like, just everywhere they did stuff, where they did fencing, where they did where they did all the horse events and all that stuff. Like, everything was just in these huge historic domes and coliseums and all this stuff. And it was just like, I can't believe they were just like, no, we're doing it in all these places. You can't do anything else here any other time ever, but we're doing all the Olympic events here. We're doing these here. We're going to make this look like the best Olympic Games ever. And like, it was beautiful. It was just awesome to see. Like, it was so cool to see them just be like, yeah, there's no place that we can't put something and we're going to do that. And we're going to make Paris look awesome. Like, you know, not that Paris is ever in trouble for tourism, but like, I imagine Paris tourism is going crazy.
No doubt.
Because of some of the stuff, like, just wild. So yeah, just shout Paris to me was just the MVP, because I just felt like every time, even where like breakdancing was, I was like, this is cool. Like, they just everywhere just looked so cool and just so well planned out and thought out and everything. Just I just loved watching these games. Like, just being damn, I just want to be there. I don't feel like I ever feel like that with the Olympics, and I'm just like, God,
no,
Paris
you're
looks
right.
Cool.
You're right. It's been like since like probably London, which is 2012. Yeah. Right. And like, they didn't do it to the degree that Paris did.
No.
They really they didn't embrace it as well. But like, that's the last time it was.
No, they didn't have fencing at Buckingham Palace.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But that was like, the closest one. Obviously 3 years ago it was, still like post-pandemic and there was like nobody there. But also some of these cities and countries, frankly, just aren't good at this stuff.
No.
They're just not. And Paris kind of set the standard. You're absolutely right. Every setting was incredible. They embraced it. And for a place that has so much history, they could be like, whoa, we can't do this here.
Yeah.
But no, I love it. You're right. You're absolutely right. They went all in, and it was just amazing to watch visually, aside from the competitions that were taking place.
Yeah, it was just, that was just like so crazy to see. And just even like we talked about the opening ceremonies and stuff, but just being like, we're going to do this on boats in the Seine and just, hit or miss on that. But
and we're swimming in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is it? We cleared it by 1/1000th of a fraction for the E. coli. We're clear. We're doing it. We're still doing it.
Oh man.
Feel bad for those athletes that have been training for 4 years for that thing to just vomit afterwards.
Like, now your life's work, you now have to jump into a porta potty. Enjoy it. Oh gosh. But Paris, definitely my MVP for sure. Oh,
good pick. No,
just
can't blame you there.
Loved it. And runner up Peacock. Like, just Gold Zone, like Keenan and Kevin, Snoop, being able just to go back and watch replays of everything, like anytime you wanted to. As soon as the event's over, you can just go on there, click it. They made the Olympics like perfect. Like, this is the way the Olympics has to be for the rest of time. Because like, you could watch anything you wanted whenever you wanted. Then you could watch the primetime thing if you wanted to watch it that way. Like, you just do anything. You could watch it any way you wanted to, live, on replay an hour later. Like, just whenever you wanted to. The Olympics were all right there, every event. And I was just like, Peacock, you did it.
Yeah, you did. You're right. It was perfect. It was absolutely perfectly executed by them. And you're right. Paris was like a good, like, when the Olympics are in Beijing, it's like a whole day ahead.
Yes.
It's like, that's hard to watch.
Yes.
But now, with Peacock, the way that like, you could go to track and field, there'd be like 3 track and field views, like multi-view, the Gold Zone. Yes. Shouts to Peacock as well.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's get into Chris's topic. This is Chris's contribution to the show this week.
Yes.
Sports that need removed from the Olympics.
Oh boy.
I have so many.
Oh, okay. Well, good. I have
Nuts.
some replacement ideas, so this is going to work out great.
Okay, this is good. This is good. This is good. Sports that need to be removed. 3-on-3 basketball.
Yes.
For the love of God, why are we doing this? What? There's. What are we doing? 3-on-3 basketball. Just dumb. Diving. Honestly, all of it. I want it gone.
I was going to say there's a lot of different diving. There's maybe too much different diving.
Yeah, maybe there just needs to be one. Because I'm like, and is it synchronized diving? Because something about the synchronized sports, I'm just like, there's something to that that's just like fascinating to me. But
yeah.
But there just doesn't need to be that many diving. I don't. There's
right.
No, like there's like so much of diving,
different platforms, and then there's like an actual diving board.
Yeah,
there's like
no.
Wait, like how do you get into 10-meter platform diving? Right? Like how many places in the United States have a 10-meter platform that you can practice on?
Dude,
like you don't you can't just get into that. Like these other sports, you can somehow like work your way up. Like that, you have to find somewhere that has that eventually. But I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, diving. Gotta go. Let's see. What else did I have? Race walking. Why are we doing this?
Yes. Boy, you're a break from my list.
Race walking. I feel like everybody has the same ones. Race walking. And my last one, golf. That needs to go too. I have beef. Golf needs to go. Honestly,
it's not exciting in the Olympics. It's just
not. Tennis, honestly, that could probably go too. It just seems weird. And maybe it seems weird because they're always doing international things.
Right.
And
and those events are bigger.
It doesn't seem special. Yeah, and it doesn't seem special. It's like Wimbledon's not the Olympics. I don't care what you say. Like Djokovic was like, "Oh, this is the biggest moment of my career." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like, stop. This is so stupid. Like, what are we doing? Like, don't.
No, that's fair.
That. Yeah, and the same thing with like Scotty Scheffler, who's like the best golfer in the world right now. Like, so him winning, like that's cool, but it's like that cooler than the Masters? No, wasn't cooler than you winning the Open. Like, no,
right?
Like, what? You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's not the same.
No, not the same. Not the same. But yeah, those are it for me. So I feel like I'm good.
I've got basically the same list as you, but I'm going to add one. Okay. The steeplechase. Like, maybe we should take it back to its original roots, where this actually took place, like outside of a stadium or an arena, where there was like an actual. They were going through, like the woods, right, with the jumping over the puddles. It just looks so stupid. It looks so dumb. I don't need the steeplechase in its current format. Either get rid of it or take it back old school. Have these people running outside. We don't need it. And they can finish back in the stadium, right? Jumping over pools of water. It looks ridiculous.
Yeah, the steeplechase is really stupid. It's really stupid. Like, really, really stupid. Like, you just jump over something, go in the water, and then you do it again.
Yeah.
You're like, what are we?
Like, oh, and here comes a little jump. Everybody has to jump over the little horsey, and then.
Yeah, the steeplechase is really stupid. Really stupid.
And we can get rid of breakdancing. Did we not? Did we like it? Did we not like it? What do we think? Because it's already. I think this is it. I think LA already said they're not doing it, right?
Yes, LA said they're not doing it.
Of course, there's an infamous moment with the Australian woman we can dive into too. But like, I don't want that to be the reason to say like breakdancing should be removed. But I'm curious what you thought.
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, it stinks that this Australian moment actually happened.
Yeah.
Because it allows people who didn't watch any of the breakdancing to act like they watched the breakdancing and be like, this is breakdancing. You know what I mean? This was breakdancing at the Olympics. And I've already seen somebody I know do this who actually has like a job in the media, and I was like really annoyed by it. But anyways, I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. Like, even the girl who was against the Australian, if you watch it, she's so good at breakdancing. This girl,
right?
I don't know what was going on, but the way I looked at the Australian breakdancer though was like, have you ever watched a heat of one of these races in track?
Right.
Like, everybody from some country is the best in their country at something. That doesn't mean they're the best in the world.
Right.
That just means they've got to go to the Olympics. They got their picture in the South Sudan paper. and like they got to be in lane 9 of the first 100-meter heat at the Olympics, and never to be seen again.
Right.
That should have been this girl, but it's breakdancing, not running straight in a line. So therefore it becomes this big story. But like, to me, it just seemed like any of these girls who were traveling in a heat of whatever, and it's like, or boys and whatever, and they just are the dead last in a heat, not the final, a
Right.
heat. Like, yeah, like that's just, that's what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, it was entertaining, and there was way more
Yes.
to it than the Australian. And she was like, it's weird that I don't know why they called them boys and girls. I thought that was odd. It was like breakdancing boys and breakdancing girls. The
Yeah.
Australian woman is like 31 or something like that, which
Yeah.
is just like
A doctor.
should have been a sign. Yeah, should have a sign right there. But and I wasn't sure how the scoring was going to work, and then I saw it and I was like, okay, this makes sense. It's like who won?
Yeah,
The
they're
people
just
were
like,
voting. Who won? Like, okay, we're not doing numbers here. So, farewell to breakdancing, I suppose. It did have its good moments though. Aside from that one bad one that's glaringly all over the internet.
I know. I thought it was cool they battled. I thought that was cool too. I loved it. Like
that was crazy.
They're like staring at each other, like staring each other down or whatever. I love that. They're all in each other's like personal space. And then it's over, and then it just goes to the board. So then it turns into like The Voice or something. And you're just like, and then they're just like, and it's like, I thought that was like a fun thing. It was like, we found out in real time. We weren't like waiting around for like scores like we do in gymnastics or whatever. It's like, no, like we found out like right here. Nope, you're out. Like, let's go. I don't know. I thought it was fun. Shouts to the dudes who were the MCs for the for the breakdancing too.
For sure.
Shouts to that. Yeah.
So we need to replace some of these sports then.
Yes,
we know in LA, we know I think lacrosse is going to be in LA, and flag football, is that official?
Flag football is official.
Okay.
Cheerleading, I believe, is in the 28 games too.
Ooh.
Yes, I believe so. I will.
I don't love that
in a second.
I don't love that, and not that it's not athletic, but I don't love that. That seems, and I know the host country gets the pick, but that seems desperate for the United States to do that. Like, we better win that,
dude.
You know what I'm saying?
If we don't win that,
right,
that's a problem.
That could be bad. But again,
wait. Oh. I will. No, they thought it was going to be.
They thought.
And then it was not announced as one of the sports to be played in Los Angeles.
Okay.
So people were upset about that.
Oh my.
But yes, that was a thing when they announced the sports. That was not one of them.
Well, I have a couple other ideas that we could maybe add to the Olympics.
Okay.
If we're taking some away. One of my favorite Winter Olympic sports is the luge.
Okay.
Right? What about, we can make this happen for the summer, like the water luge.
Okay.
Where it's just a big, you're just like at a, what's the word I'm trying to think? A slide. It's just a slide.
Yeah, it's
just a big water slide. And I want to see who comes down the fastest down the water slide. Right?
That's good.
The water luge. I think it could happen for the Summer Olympics.
That's good. I like it.
You hate diving, but what if I told you we were going to do diving, but you get more points for a larger splash? But you still have to do your flips. This is not a belly flop contest. Like, you're still going to do acrobatic flips, but then the larger splash you get, the more points you get. What if we change it up, make it a little more exciting?
See, I like that. Because I don't want people doing cannonballs or something. I don't
want
that.
No, right. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't want everything to turn into a cannonball at the end.
But or maybe it's off the slide. Maybe we can somehow integrate the slide where you come flying down this big slide and you get thrown into the air and you're doing all these flips and acrobatic things, and then boom, biggest splash. Give me points for biggest splash.
I like that. I like that. I'm a big fan of that. One thing that I thought was, it's like a lot of people axe throw. You know what I'm saying? Axe throwing. Let's replace something with axe throwing. Like, why not? Like, let's just do that. Let's get a little axe throwing in the Olympics. See how far we can do this from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to, because I don't want to do it from like close. Like Megan, listener of the Brunch Breakdown.
Yeah.
She's done it for years. I thought she'd be good at it by now, but like you just watch it, I'm just like I don't get it. But anyways,
She is good at it. She went to the nationals.
Yeah, which makes me wonder about that. So maybe we shouldn't.
But you think it's too close. You think it needs to be a little bit more challenging.
Close. I think it needs to be further away. That's the thing. I want axe throwing to be further away. I need it to be like, I just want it to be further. So like,
well, you're getting a text message. You're getting a text message this week. I can promise you that.
I just want it to be further away. Just
okay.
When I see her doing it, I'm like, all right, that's cool. Megan's good at that. Like, shouts to you. But then I'm like, this looks really close.
Okay. Further away.
Yeah, I want distance axe throwing at the next Olympics. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember pro beach hockey?
Yeah.
Like outdoor street hockey. I want that. We have ice hockey in the Winter Olympics, but let's do like pro beach. That would be perfect for LA. Pro beach hockey. They had a 2-point line.
Yep.
Like imagine where the 3-point line is in basketball. They had a 2-point line for pro beach hockey, and it was incredible. I want pro beach hockey. Get rid of 3-on-3 basketball. Replace it with pro beach hockey.
Yes, we will do that. And then I have another one. I want because it was on NBC. So like I want it to be replaced with the Ninja Warrior. I want something to be replaced with that because I'm watching and I'm like, you know what? These ninjas need some love here. And I was watching and we ran across indoor cycling. And I was like, what is this? Like, this is just stupid. Like, what do we do? Like, this is not anything. Like, what are we doing here? Like, it's like speed skating, but with bicycles.
Right.
What doesn't make any sense. But yeah. I want the Ninja Warrior course. I want that somewhere. I want some crazy Ninja Warrior course. And maybe that makes us get rid of like the climbing stuff or whatever. That's fine. We can all get it together. So I feel like you get that in there, you can get rid of a bunch of sports because then a bunch of those athletes are going to try to be Olympic warriors.
Right.
So we get the Olympic warrior course.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. How about kickball? I'd like to see some international kickball. That could be entertaining.
I just want to see the people.
Right. I know.
Well, what do the stars look like that come out of kickball? Because it's somewhere between the dudes who won the discus and like Cole Hawker. Like it's gonna be a wide range of people on these rosters.
That's true. That's why I want to see it.
Yeah.
It could be anybody.
Yeah, kickball works.
It could be anyone. Yeah. Well, I have one more. Do you have any others?
I don't have any others.
Yeah, I went lengthy here. Here's one that's totally off the board. Right? I think a lot of time people like to say like, oh, they should throw a random an average person in there to see how they compete against an Olympian.
Yes.
Well, instead of that, what if we do like an everyday task? Like random IKEA build where you're just randomly given a piece of furniture from IKEA and you have to put it together. You get points for speed, doing it in the correct order, and your just overall craftsmanship. So just an IKEA build.
Okay.
And we all know IKEA directions. It's not like we're going to have any issue there. It's just going to be all the same stick figure things, but it's just boom. And you just randomly get a piece of IKEA furniture and you got to put it together quickly.
How many gold medals did Sweden win? I don't know how many they won.
They need a little bit of love. I think this would help them.
I feel like this would be big for them. And I like this because it could take a long time. No instructions. I say no instructions.
No instructions.
None. No power tools. All you get is the wrenches that are in the thing.
Exactly.
Man, this could be nice because this could be something that ends up taking people a really, really long time. And you just got like Mike Tirico just updating you. Just like, it's like, and Dan's still over there trying to get it done. We'll update you and see where they're at.
Looks like he's having trouble with the headboard there, John. I don't know if he's been able to crack the code on this one.
And you're like, oh, that's not that piece. That's not it. That's man, he's gonna regret
he used
that
the
one.
A board instead of the B board. Clearly, that little sticker on there just got the best of him.
He's gonna be really upset when he opens that drawer and sees that it's upside down. God. Yeah, I like that.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
Because if we're putting flag football in, let's go.
Anything's up, right?
Give me that.
Yeah.
Give me that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Get out of here. My gosh. All right. Well, any other final thoughts on the Olympics, Dan, before we head over to the music, sir?
It was just overall amazing. I mentioned Snoop Dogg being the MVP. There's reports that he was paid $500,000 per day to be there. And he's got a lot going on with NBC. He's going to be on The Voice. He's got a lot of stuff coming up. Snoop and Martha at Dressage was another underrated moment that was just incredible. But like, I genuinely love the Olympics. I'm like seriously going to be bummed that they're over. They're just they're so good. And USA again, tying in gold, not great, but just dominated. Like, what's it like for when other countries are watching track and field? They got to be getting sick and tired of us winning.
Oh,
or are they just like, yep, that's the way it was supposed to be? Like when Usain Bolt was running, like we didn't think we were going to actually somebody was going to beat him. So do they enjoy watching just us race faster than everybody else, do it better than everybody else? I don't know.
It's got to be annoying, especially when you're watching, because this year swimming was like up in the air. A lot of like we didn't really own swimming. Like that's the reason why the gold medal count was tied, honestly.
Yeah.
But when you're watching track and field, and we just every time there's a toss up in a race, it's like we just end up there somehow.
Yeah,
and it's
right.
just like But dude, that the mixed relay, the one where they just got freaking tracked down by that chick from Norway or Finland or somewhere. Oh God, that's the one that hurts me.
That's the one we should have had.
That's the one we should have had. Like, but yeah. Anyhow, yeah, I'm gonna miss the Olympics too, because it's just television. It just is on. Just keep it on. Just see something fun.
Always something on. Yep.
Yeah,
I love it.
All right, Dan. Well, let's get into music, man. What have you been listening to? What's been the soundtrack for the Olympics so far?
Yeah, besides John Williams and the infamous Olympics song, there was some great music that came out over the past week, and certainly one from, she's very well known on our playlist now. Biba Doody returns. Biba Doody returns again. Beaches. It's the final single off of her upcoming album called This Is How Tomorrow Moves, which comes out in just a couple of days, people. So getting very, very excited for that. Beaches is a great song, and expecting another phenomenal album from Biba Doobie. I'm sure we'll have another track on the playlist next week when that album comes out. So
dude, same here. I am going to put on the playlist because it was just so nice to watch an NBA game on NBC and hear the NBA on NBC theme song, which you're going to hear a lot in 2025. So I'm going to put on the playlist Nelly Heart of a Champion, which samples the NBC theme song, NBA theme song. So yeah, that was awesome. All the breaks going in and out of that was awesome. So yeah, John
Chest, those residual checks coming back through, brother.
Ooh, big time. I guess he signed a new deal right before the Olympics started. Signed because they wanted to use the song over the Olympics, so it was like this rush to get it done. And
amazing.
He's like, oh yeah, no, I'm making more money off this song now.
Iconic song. I love it. Next one for me is I love me some Zed features, right?
Yes, sir.
And then he brings in my girl to the fold, Remy Wolf, who's having herself a moment right now. Her not only a couple weeks removed from her incredible album, and they team up for a song called Lucky. And like, I promise you listen to this song, you're guaranteed to either just bop your head, tap your toe, just groove with the chorus is unbelievable. And I was so excited to see these two come together for this song, Zed and Remy Wolf. I mean, thank you. Prayers answered.
It doesn't sample Britney Spears' Lucky, does it?
Thankfully, no. I was a little concerned, I'll be honest with you.
Okay. Thank the Lord, because one of those
somebody did that recently, right?
Oh, Halsey.
Somebody did that. Oh yeah.
She's in the lead for worst song of 2024.
I was like, oh no, what are you doing?
It's bad. Oh, it's bad.
I was so let down.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. And then she got mad at her fans for not liking it. And I'm like, dude, it's not their fault.
No.
It ain't their fault. Bro, I don't know what the hell
True.
that was. All right. I got a new obsession, guys. I got a new obsession. Jordan Adetunji, I think that's his name. He's got a song that's very popular right now on social media. It's called Kalani. It hit the Billboard Hot 100 a couple weeks ago, and it's about the R&B singer Kalani, and she is on the remix of the song about
Nice.
her, which
Love
is just great because the song is awesome. And I was like, I like the sound of this. I was like, I want to see what else this kid's got. Well, it's awesome. Like he mixes R&B and drill music and just a bunch of different sounds are going on here. And then it's like he's got a song called Insecure that's like very emo. And he's got a lot going on. And it's just everything that I'm like, I don't know what he's just throwing stuff at the board, seeing what sticks. And I really like what's happening with this kid. So I'm gonna put Kaylani on the playlist and I'm gonna put Insecure on the playlist too. Because I feel like those give you two completely different sides of whatever he's trying to do. And it's pretty great. So yeah, Jordan Adetunji, I think that's how you say his name. But he's pretty great.
Nice. I love it. I
Yep.
love it. And last one for me. We're going off the board a little bit here again too. And listen, everybody knows that Michael Bublé shines at Christmas time, but Michael Bublé put out a really good song last week.
Okay.
He did.
Okay.
And, you know, he sings more than just Christmas songs, obviously, but, you know, the crooner style. But every once in a while, it gives us a little pop, little taste of a little pop music. And he did it back in the day. He had a couple of songs that were pretty popular on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
He's given us another one here called "Don't Blame It on Me." And it's just a good song, man. So I just want to give Michael Bublé a little love. Everybody's focused on Snoop. Michael Bublé's on The Voice this year too, and so shouts to him. Shouts to him. Give him a little bit of love.
Oh man! All right, shouts to Michael Bublé.
It's our guy.
Oh, all right. Last one. Drake put out a 3-song EP thing and just did a bunch of dropping of things this week, videos, all this other stuff. But there's a song called Blue, Red, Green by Drake that I feel like if it weren't for the whole Kendrick Drake situation, this song would have came out in June and possibly been one of the like best songs of the summer. So happy we're getting it later than I wanted to get this, but
Sure.
It's a really good song. Interested to see what happens with this one. But I feel like this probably would have came out in like May and taken over the summer.
Right.
But this is a good song. So
That's too bad.
Blue, red, green. Yeah, too bad. Too bad. Instead, everybody's screaming A minor. So that's it. That's unfortunate for Drake. Well, that is what we are listening to. Make sure you check out the playlist Sounds of Brunch. Tell Siri, tell Alexa to play the Sounds of Brunch exclusively on Spotify. Dan, any final thoughts as we get out of here on the Brunch Breakdown?
It's from when the day we're recording this. We have 1,433 days to go until the next Olympic Games, the next Summer Olympic Games in Los Angeles. And I will be counting down each and every one of those days slowly until we finally get there.
And that might be the same amount of days until Chris is on the pod again. But who knows? It's the Brunch Breakdown. We're out.